Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you for continuing to join this conversation about growing in prayer. In the last few videos, we unpacked some truths that I believe are key to understanding if we're going to be successful in prayer. Now that we know that God desires us and that being connected to his heart is the primary reason for prayer, I want to switch gears a little bit and begin to talk about how prayer stores up oil in our lives and why this is important. I'm reminded of the parable of the 10 virgins in Matthew 25, where Jesus uses this story to teach truths about what the kingdom of heaven will be like in the last days. Now, I'm going to be paraphrasing most of this for the sake of time, but Jesus starts this parable by saying that in the last days, the church will be like 10 virgins who were set apart for the Lord. In other words, all 10 virgins were true believers. Otherwise, they wouldn't be called virgins or bridesmaids. Now, all the virgins had lamps and oil in them, meaning that all 10 were engaging in the kind of things that brought about God's presence in their lives. And as we all know, 5 of them were wise and 5 of them were foolish. As they went out to meet the bridegroom, the ones who were wise took extra oil with them. Jesus goes on to say that the bridegroom was delayed in coming, and they all became weary and fell asleep, even the wise ones. But then suddenly there was a shout, and they all knew that just a few moments were left until the bridegroom would appear. So they all began to trim their lamps. But because there was a delay, the 5 who were foolish quickly realized that they didn't have enough oil to burn through these last few moments, and they began to ask the ones who were wise to give them some of their oil. But the wise ones replied, "We don't have enough for you. The only way for you to get oil is to buy it." In other words, it takes time and intentionality to store up the necessary oil to be able to burn bright until the end. And the 5 who were foolish missed out on the opportunity that they had wanted and dreamed of their whole lives, to meet the bridegroom and to be part of his glorious return. So one of the reasons that we want to grow in prayer is so that we store up oil in our lives. So my question for you, and it's one that I'm asking for myself as well, is, are you cultivating extra oil of intimacy in your life? Or are you cultivating just enough to get by? To be the wise virgin is to be engaged in encountering the Lord in prayer and building a history of knowing his heart. Because when the bridegroom delays and all the promises seem far away, your heart will remain steady and endure till the end. That's why it's important not to get caught up or distracted with anything that takes away from storing up the oil of intimacy in prayer. Always keep your connection with God first, and then let everything else flow from that place. Prayer was meant to be a journey where we would fall in love, and it would compel us to live a life where we partner with him in the most difficult times, resulting in a bride that is victorious. Hey, join me next time, because I'm going to share a testimony of how God gave me an illustration of this in my life.